Hey everybody, to start things off, the Flashboy robot is below, a link below this video or above this video or somewhere nearby, and it will take you to a web page that looks pretty much exactly like this, with this fancy looking handsome guy right over here, and then a button. You click on the button and you put in your details. So I just typed in my name and then my email address and then get Flashboy now. So an awesome email is on the way to my inbox right now with instructions on how to set up the robot. And then you'll be told that you did something awesome, which you did. And then below that, you can choose another free strategy. The cost of this robot development and otherwise was underwritten by my friends. And so they got to put these newsletter advertisements underneath the video. So you choose a couple of those, hopefully, if you don't mind. Go to the next page, maybe you choose another one. And once you go to your inbox and then come back, you will be taken to the download page. And the download page looks like this. There's a download folder and you download the robot. And then there's some lessons on getting set up. And right now, what I'd love to do is describe to you how the robot works and what it's all about. Okay, every once in a while, there is a really big move that's larger than what you ordinarily see on the time frame chart that you're looking at. So I'm going to get rid of a bunch of indicators here to make everything way, way easier to see and to understand. Okay, had a bunch of indicators on there. So every once in a while you get a really big candle that's much larger than the other candles or bars around it. And that's what I call a flash move. And flash moves are typically something along these lines. On a 1-minute chart, a flash move might be a 1-minute chart with a move of 15 pips or more. Or on a 5-minute chart, maybe a flash move is a candle that's 15 pips or more, like a big 15-minute candle. I mean, a big 15-pip candle. Or maybe on a 15-minute chart, it's 15 to 30 pips. And maybe on a 60-minute chart, it's 60 pips. And maybe on a 4-hour chart, it's 100 or so pips. And maybe on a daily chart, it's 300 to 500 pip candle. Every market's different, and in the installation instructions, I talk about some different numbers that you can think about. If you're talking about a Japanese yen pair, you might want to use larger numbers than if you're looking at something like the euro pound, because there's all kinds of different volatilities. Okay. So I want to make this robot free, like I said, and below this video you can grab it. I hope you do. I really appreciate it. I love giving you stuff. I love helping you out. And if you enjoy it, if you're glad, if you're happy, I'd love a subscribe. It's all I really want, or a like, or just a thank you in the comments. That'd be great too. Okay, you look for the flash move. After the flash move occurs, we believe that this move is too big to be sustained and that the market will eventually fall. But we don't want to sell immediately. We want to wait for divergence. So the robot will wait for a divergence signal. That's where price is rising, but an indicator like, let's just say the stochastic, is falling. So price here is moving up, but the stochastic oscillator is rolling over and falling ever so slightly. That's divergence. What the robot will do at that point is take a sell trade. And what the robot will do is it will start selling and it will try to make some money off of that sell trade. If you have a really small, modest profit target, it can have a super high win percentage. But that's not the only thing the robot's going to do. The robot's also going to add to a winning trade. So you'll see on the chart I've got this moving average that tracks really closely with price. That's the 5 exponential moving average. And once the trade is open, every time the candles hit that 5 exponential moving average, it's going to add another trade to the winning trade. And it can only add 1 trade per candle maximum. And it can only add a maximum of 20 additional trades. And it can only add them if it's a winner. That means you're not going to be adding to a losing trade. You're going to be adding to a winning trade. What's more is you can have a set stop loss on the trade, and you can have a trailing stop and a break even on the trade to protect yourself as much as possible. Now, I know some of you are going to want to have a really big profit target. And if you test the robot with a really big profit target, let's say you sell here and you want price to go all the way down to something like this, but it doesn't get there, you can have a stop loss on the trade, and that stop loss can kick in and get you out of the trade so that you don't take a loss that's bigger than your average win. But also, you can have a really big stop loss and ask the robot to simply sell again later on when the next divergence appears. And if it does that, the robot can take an additional trade on the next divergence. And once again, if that trade starts to get profitable, it will start adding to that winning trade. Now, this is an example of a sell trade setup, but the robot can also buy. It doesn't have to just sell. It can do exactly the reverse. And we'll look at an example of that in a moment. Now, there's one last feature of this robot that I call the Flash Boy, and that is that it will take half the profit off the table when it has made some money. So let's say price has fallen after our sell trade, and it gets to about this level here. The robot will take half the trade and half the profit off the table and keep going. Then it will take more of the profit off the table, more of the profit off the table, until there are no trades left and the trailing stop kicks in. Let's take a look at a test. We jump on over here to Metatrader. Now, what I have going on here on Metatrader is I've already installed the robot, I've already got it set up, and I've already got a little bit of data. I provide instructions on how to do all of this on the web pages where the robot is available. So there's 3 videos already up there on how the robot works, which is basically what we just did, then some installation instructions, and then some testing instructions. Okay, so we've got our data in here. We've got a robot installed. It's really simple to do. We're going to test the British pound, and we're going to pull up some testing parameters. The magic number distinguishes the robot trades from your discretionary trades. Candles back refers to the size of the divergence that we can look for. So the maximum length of this divergence line is 30 bars or 30 candles long. And let me pull in the window here on Metatrader so that we don't have a problem later on. Okay. There we go. So the maximum candles back, it looks, is 30. We have slippage of 5 and spread of 5, so if the market's moving really fast, it won't take a trade if it can't get in at the price we want. It's going to look for a flash move or a really big move on the same time frame chart that we're looking at. But you can tell the robot to actually look for a huge move on a higher time frame chart and then take the trades from a shorter time frame. I'm going to keep it at just the current time frame chart. We're going to backtest the 15-minute chart, and we're going to say, start taking trades if there's a candle that is 15 pips or larger. Take a first trade of 3 mini lots, a second trade of 5 mini lots, and wait 70 pips between those 2 trades. The default will be no stop loss because I'm using a move to break even and a trailing stop already. You can put a stop loss in there and backtest that to your heart's content. The profit targets are denominated in dollar format, so if your account's in pounds or euros or Canadian dollars or Klingon darsecs, these numbers will apply to you in your own local currency. First trade profit is $40. That means if we get into our first 3 mini lot trade, we're trying to make $40. Our second trade profit is $12. That means if we get into 2 trades, if both trades open, so this trade opens, we're trying to make $40. But if later on it has to open a second trade to try to be a winner, it's only going to try to make $12 total between the 2 trades because things have gone wrong and we just want to make a small amount of profit and get out. We're going to use a break even. That means if we make $20, we're going to move our stop loss to break even. Making $20 on this robot with these settings is really easy. And then we're going to take half of our profit off the table once we make $30. If the trade's going well and is profitable, we can add additional trades using the use add to trades set to true. These added trades have their own magic number, and we're going to use the 5-period exponential moving average, but you can change that to anything that you would like. We're only going to trade if price moves beyond the 5 exponential moving average, so it has to break through it, and it can only take 1 trade extra per candle that hits the 5 EMA. The maximum number of additional trades that it can take are 20, and it will add trades of 3 micro lots each, so very small, and it will only start adding to trades if the total set of trades is already profitable. Let's click Start. We're going to do this in visual mode so you can see the chart moving along. And you can see that it doesn't find trades immediately or all the time. Just because price has moved 15 pips on a 15-minute chart doesn't mean there's also divergence. So you're not going to see trades every single time there's a big move. Well, here we are. We found a big move and we got a trade. So here was the big move. Then there was divergence, which it's not shown on the screen. The robot knows it was there. And then it takes some trades and it closes them out. Let's see what those looked like in the results window. A $15 win, and then the trailing stop kicked in and we broke even and we got a 0 on the next trade. So we made 15 bucks because it closed half of the profit once it was profitable. Let's continue the testing forward and see if we get a sell trade or a buy trade. Oh, we got a buy trade. Ooh, we got a set of buy trades. Excellent. So here is a buy trade, and it starts adding a bunch of trades, and it closes them all out. Okay, so we got a big move, and then it started to buy. Let's take a look at the results. And you can see there's a $15 win, about a $15 win. Sometimes it'll be close, but not exact. $15 win, $15 win. And that's what it looks like when it takes trades. So have fun with the robot. I know there's going to be a lot of questions, and you can leave your comments and questions below this video. And I'm happy to give it to you. I'm happy for you to play around with it. If you own the robot package, so if you already own my family of robots, the code for this robot is also available to you in your members area. And if you don't have the robots, there will be a link at the top of the screen on your download area where you can get the full robot package at a discount. I only released the code to the people who bought the robot. I think for obvious reasons, there's just too many. There's 20,000 people that are going to download this, and I'm not a superhuman. I'm not solar powered, and I can't type that fast. So give the robot to you. I hope that's okay with you. I don't mean to offend anybody. I know some of you are going to hate me no matter what. Have fun with the robot. Trade on a demo. Remember, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for everyone. Enjoy the robot. Get it below. Click the link below. Plug in your information, and let's get started. Let's do this.